Hi, let me show you how to design this button interaction. If I click, I have this dot animated, then I have this transition. Alright, let's create a new file and let's grab the frame and draw by 44 frame and give it pixels border radius and change its color to a blue color. Now let's grab the text color and add our text and give it 16 pixels size and medium, and I'm gonna use here enter font face. Alright, next I'm gonna transform this to auto layout and then duplicate my text, hit for the second layer this absolute position, let me make this as ascending and hide this dot because we're gonna animate this, the E dot or the I dot. As you can see, we're gonna hide the original and then create new dots that we're gonna animate. Right now, to mask this, let's draw a dot, hit absolute position and position it over the I dot and change its color to the same background blue. Alright, now group the sending text, the ellipse or the mask of the I dot. Alright, now here, because I am in absolute position, I can center my text freely, and also I'm gonna move it down. Alright, maybe let's get to the center, let's hide send. Now I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna create another component especially for the dot that's gonna bounce here. So let's go and create a new ellipse. Alright, it should be small 3 pixels by 3 pixels white and transform it to a component, then add new variant, and here I have two variants. Let me change this background so you can see. Alright, now here I have two variants of the same dot. Now I'm going to select the ellipses inside and change to center, change its constraints, and then let me here change the frame of my dots. The height, I'm going to change it to 11 pixels. Alright, and 11 pixels for the second one. Now all I'm going to do is to align the first button to button of its original frame, and then the second ellipse, I'm going to align it to the top of its frame. Alright, now to see, I'm going to align it side by side. Here, as you can see, the first ellipse is aligned to the bottom and the second one to the top. Now let's realign those two. Alright, now let's go to prototype and connect each other, and I'm going to choose after delay, smart animate, ease out, and 300. Also I'm going to create a loop after delay, smart animate, ease out. Maybe I'm going to change this to 1 millisecond. Also for the first one, 1 millisecond. Alright, now let's create a new frame and test our bouncing dot animation. So we're gonna use this as our loading animation. Here is my dot. Now to test that, let's select preview. Alright, how can I zoom that? It's opening a new preview windows. Zoom in. Alright, as you can see, we have our infinite bouncing loop. Alright, now let me close this, close also this, and remove this. And now I'm gonna click and drag and hit absolute and position this here. Alright, I'm gonna drag it to the same group. So we have the ellipse, the bouncing ellipse, the sending text, and the mask of our original dot. Let's realign this, something like that. So we have change in our size. I resize it to 44. And now it doesn't matter if we center it. Let's go back here and our sending animation, I'm gonna move it to the bottom and we're gonna deal with it in my second variant. Alright, now one last thing, I'm gonna create a rectangle inside my frame, also absolute, and center it. Make sure it fill out all the component and go all the way to white color, rename it background. This will be for the third face. So when we click, we have this animation and then we have this background. Alright, white background. Alright, so you can see creating everything in the same component. Then when I duplicate my component to variant, we're gonna see a step by step of the animation. Right, so for now I'm gonna hide it. Alright, so name this to button. So let's create a component out of our button and create a new variant. So in the second variant, I'm gonna select the text layer and the group where my sending text is and move everything up. Also my send, put it to absolute position, move it to the top. Let's move everything to the top until the sending is in the center. As you can see, make sure this text is also in an absolute position and on the top of all the layers. Next, let's move this another step, create a new variant, and in this step we're gonna get back to our original state. We're gonna reveal our white background and change the text to a blue color. Alright, so it was here, so it was behind the background, so I just move it to the front. Alright, I think that's it. Now let's move to the prototype and connect everything. So for the first phase, I'm gonna connect this with the second variant, and let's say on click, smart animate and gentle. Alright, and for the second one, I'm gonna connect the second with the third, and it will be after delay. Excuse me, if we remove this, reconnect it. Alright, after delay, and also keep it a gentle 100 millisecond, and this will be 2000 millisecond or 2 seconds. Alright, now I'm gonna connect the last one with the second one, on click, and keep the default settings. Alright, to test this interaction, let's create a new frame, and let me change its color to a light blue, and let's go to asset and drag and drop our button. Now select the frame, and let's go to present, create a new preview windows. Alright, so if I click, gonna get this, let me zoom in, then gonna get this test state. Let's click again, gonna go back to the default, then if I click, alright, as you can see, and alright, in this part I'm going to show you how to create this button animation. Alright, so if I click, I have this 3 dot loading, then we go back to the default. Alright, now let's go and create a new frame of 200 pixels wide by 44 pixel height and 25 pixels border radius, or let's give it 50 pixels border radius. Alright, zoom in and change its color to a green color. Alright, now let's go and create a new text layer and name it to add text. Let's give it 16 pixels, medium, and enter for the font face. Center and transform to auto layout. Alright, now for the next phase, let's go and create our loading dots animation. So we will create this animation, then we will add it here. So to create the 3 dots animation, I'm gonna create 3 ellipses of 6 by 6, maybe. Yes, be 6 by 6, and I will duplicate it 2 times. Alright, we transform this to white color and this to color to a opacity of 40. Alright, now select everything and let's transform this component, and then for my component I'm gonna first change its background color to dark so you can see. Alright, now create a new variant and let's align this to side by side, and now select, first let me go back just right, let's select all the edits inside my variants and go here to constraint and add center to center. Alright, now I'm gonna change my variant container to 15 pixel height, and then I'm gonna align the dot to the bottom edge. Alright, gonna also create a third variant. That's great. Now for my first variant, I'm gonna align this to the top, and for my second, I'm gonna align the center to the top, and for my last one, I'm gonna align the last dot to the top. Alright, I'm gonna change this to 40% opacity and this to 100% opacity. Also here, I'm gonna go back to 40% opacity, and for the last dot, I'm gonna move it to 100% opacity. Alright, now let's connect everything using the prototype. Let's connect the first one and select after delay. Let's put 1 millisecond and smart animate is out 300. Let me make sure. Alright, and also connect the second with the third one. After delay, 1 millisecond and 300. Smart animate is out 300 milliseconds. And the last one we connected with the first one to create a loop. After delay, 1 millisecond, and keep this to default. Now let me remove this dark background. Alright, let's hide it. And in my component frame, I'm gonna add a dark background. So here it will not affect my variant color. It will just be the background of the whole component set. Alright, now let's test our animation, create a new frame. Let's go here, so name it this, animated, and let's move this and change the frame background to a dark color. Let's go and hit preview, and here as you can see we have our animation. Let's see in a standalone window, zoom in, and here is our animation. Alright, now I'm gonna remove this frame and let's go rename this to button and transform our button to a component then add a variant. In that variant, let's add our animation and remove our text, or just hide it for now. Alright, and then the button frame till it become a full circle. I'm gonna size it manually 44 by 44. Make sure this is also 44, and let's go and create a new variant. Let's go back to the original width, which is 200 pixels, and let's hide these dots. Go back to our default state. Alright, now for example we can play with that. Let's for example, let's make this absolute position and move that to the top or to the bottom. And this sand, skip by here. Let's go to the second variant. We have our sand. For our sand, we're gonna transform it to absolute position, center, and move it to the top. Alright, and let's connect everything and see how it works. Now let's go to prototype, the first variant with the second one, and let's go with on click, smart animate, ease out, and 300 millisecond. And for my second connection, let's go with after delay 15 millisecond or 1.5 second, and ease out and 3 milliseconds. Alright, and now let's go and connect this on click to create a full loop. Alright, let's go and test this. Create a new frame, let's change its background to a light green, and let's move our component inside, center it, and let's go and hit present, zoom in. Alright, if I click, right, I have this animation, then we go back. Now I need to, when I click, I need it to be centered, not go to the left. So here I'm gonna play with my constraint to center and center. Alright, let's see how it works. If I click, alright, animation, and it will go back to, alright, click again, and let's see how we can design this button animation. Alright, let's get started by creating a new frame, 200 by 44 and 25 pixels, border radius. Rename the frame to button and change its color to a radial or linear, and I'm gonna pick a purple color, pixels, a little bit dark. Alright, something very basic. Now let's create inside the frame new text there. Gonna add 16 pixels, medium, and enter. Let's align, transform to auto layout, but first, transform to auto layout, and let's select the text and add absolute position. Next, let's create a rectangle inside, transform to absolute position. Let's go back, make sure it's fixed width and fixed height, and create a new rectangle inside, absolute position, move it to the background, and let's make sure it has the same size of my main button. Right here I'm gonna change this background to white, and I'm gonna hide it. Alright, next let me transform this to a component and then create a new variant, and here I'm gonna resize my button to, let's say, 16 pixels, and I'm gonna move this to the bottom, make sure it is absolute position and move it. And also for my rectangle, also make sure it is 16 pixel. Alright, I'm gonna hide it right now. create another variant and reveal the background. Excuse me, here in the third variant, reveal the background. Alright, yeah, let's keep it at full. Yeah, in my second variant, let's reveal it and move it, or move its right edge until it becomes 10 pixel width, and also move it to all the way to the left until it disappears. Alright, now for my third variant, I'm gonna add a stroke of 3 pixels, and I'm gonna add the same gradient effect. Alright, maybe 2 pixels. Now let's add my last variant. Let's go back to the original size for the head, which is 44 pixels. Alright, also for my white background, make sure it is the same head as its container, and for my text I'm gonna change its color and center it. Alright, now let's go to prototype and connect the first variant with the second one. It will be on click, smart animate is in, and 3 millisecond, 30 millisecond. For the second one, it will be after delay and 1 millisecond, and ease in and 1500 millisecond. Alright, and for the last variant, it will be also after delay and 1 millisecond and 500 here. Alright, and I'm gonna also connect the last variant with the first one. On click, I'm gonna keep everything to default. Alright, now let's see if our animation work. Let's create a new frame, change its background, change it to a light purple. Let's go to assets, let's add our button, and let's go and hit the preview button. Zoom in. Now if I click, alright, I have the loading effect. Alright, click again. Now I'm gonna change its constraint to the preview frame, so everything would be centered. So if I click, alright, yeah, that works great. In this part, we're gonna see how to design this button animation. Alright, let's go and create a new Figma file and create a frame of 200 pixels, 44 head and 25 pixel border radius, a standard button container, and then let's transform it to auto layout and change its color to a gradient. I'm gonna choose a blue color. Alright, okay, now let's create our text layer. Let's go back and make sure it is a fixed width and a fixed height, and create or pay. Let's align everything to the sun. This will be 16 pixels and medium. Alright, now the next thing I want to create is this white background and the text of my next interaction, or my second interaction. So let's go and pick a rectangle, let's draw over our bottom inside and transform to absolute position, change its color to white, move its layer to the background and make sure, alright, it can fill up all the bottom and hide it. Also, let's move it to the top. Alright, just move it so it can go out of the space of my bottom. You can let it be, doesn't matter if it's hidden or show. I'm gonna leave it as not hide. Alright, next let me create this text, then we're gonna create this animation. Now for my text, I will duplicate it and add my text processing, transform it to absolute. Alright, center it. Let's hide pay for now. Alright, let's keep that like that. And then let's go and create our 3-dot animation, this animation. So let's pick the ellipse tool. Let's draw ellipse of 3 pixels by 3 pixels. Alright, zoom in. Let's change its color to a dark gray. Let's duplicate 1, 2, 3. Alright, now select everything and create a component. Also select the 3 ellipse and change its constraint to center. Then select the component frame and let's give it a 10 pixel width of the frame of my component. Now move this to the bottom. Look, I moved my ellipses to the bottom. Now I'm gonna first align this to the top and change those opacity to 40 pixels. Alright, now I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna just add a new variant and resize this and put this side by side, and I'm gonna move this back to the bottom, move this center one to the top and change its opacity to 100 and the opacity of the first one back to 40. Then create a new variant, move this to the bottom, change the opacity to 40% and this to the top and the opacity to 100%. Alright, let's resize the container frame of our component set, and then let's go to prototype and add our interaction. Connect the first one and select after delay 1 millisecond, smart animate, and you can keep ease out 300 milliseconds. I'll do the same for the others. After delay 1 millisecond, and the last one with the first one to create an infinite loop after delay 1 millisecond. Next, let's create a new frame and let's drag our animation inside our 3-dot component. Let's rename it 3 dots animation. Alright, let's go and hit preview, zoom in, and alright, that's working. Now let's go and pick this and move it to the auto layout. Make sure it is absolute. Move it to the right and center everything. Alright, now for my text, I'm gonna change it a dark color. And then what I'm going to do is to move everything to the top. And I'm gonna show back my first text. Now I'm gonna also create the last text. So here, if you go back to our animation, I'm gonna create this phase, and the last phase is this success. So for my success, I'm gonna change it to a bright green color, something like that, and absolute center, and also move it to the top. Alright, now let's go and animate all that, rename it to button. So as you can see, I created everything inside a single component. Now I'm gonna create a component and then add a second variant. For this variant, I'm gonna first select the rectangle and also my text, processing, and 3 dots. Alright, these 4 layers, and move everything to the bottom. But first, let's go back. Let's make sure also this pay is absolute. So every single layer inside my auto layout is in absolute position, so I can play with it exactly as I want. And I'm gonna select everything except the success. So, alright, let's move this till I have my white background covering all the surface, the visible surface of my button, and then I'm gonna recenter that. Alright, also I'm gonna create the third variant, and I'm gonna move just these two to the bottom, and I'm gonna move to the center, the success. Alright, I think that's it. Also, I'm gonna add a drop shadow effect for some contrast, just a light one. Alright, now I'm gonna create a new frame so I can test that. This will be gray one because I have a light background so we can see the bottom. And then let's move to prototype and connect the first one with the second one. On click smart animate, and let me choose custom, and I'm gonna play those knobs so there is no rule here. I'm just gonna create some smooth ease in animation. Alright, let's change this to 500 millisecond. Move to the next one and select it with the last, and this will be after delay, and I think this will be 1 millisecond, or I'll give it some, no, I'll give it 2 seconds, which is 2000 millisecond, and here will be 100 millisecond, and I'm gonna choose bouncy. Let's go back 1200. Alright, then let's go and connect the last or the last variant with the first one. On click and keep this. Let's go back to 5 seconds and ease in, something very basic. Alright, now let's test this. Drag our button. Let me change this to a light blue. Alright, this looks better, and hit the play button. So select the frame and hit the play button. Alright, let me zoom in. So if I click, I have this appear, and then I have my success bouncing. Alright, click back, we go back to the default. Try it again. Let's click, I have the processing and the loading dots, then I have the success. Let's see how we can create this button animation with Figma. Alright, let's go and grab the ellipse tool, hit the shift key and draw an ellipse of 124 by 100. Let's change its color to a dark gray, and let's go to iconify. Let's grab an icon. Let's grab this and change its size to 64. Alright, and go to the white color, position it on the top, and also let's increase its border 4 pixels. Let's group that and create an auto layout. Alright, so next let's grab a check icon, a check mark. Yeah, this will do the job, and also resize it to 64 pixels by 64 pixels. Also move it to inside the auto layout. Also absolute position center, change its color to white, and move it to the, make sure my button has a clip content check. Alright, next let's create a component out of my frame, rename it to button, and create a new variant. In this variant I'm gonna kick out my icon outside, alright, to the right and top side, and I'm gonna resize it to, let's say, 10 pixels by 10 pixels. Maybe let's go back and hit the key scale tool and resize it to maybe 16 or 20 pixel by 20 pixel. 20 by 20. Let's center it, move it to the bottom a little bit, and also select the move tool and create a new variant out of it. Now we're gonna go back with the scale tool, which previous original size, which is 124 by 124. Let's see. All right, and let's go and select our check icon and move it from the top to the very center of my frame, and also change the color from black to a bright green. All right, now let's connect everything using prototyping. Connect the first variant with the second one. On click, smart animate, and ease in and 200 milliseconds. All right, reset scope position, and let's go and connect the second one with the third one. This will be after delay, and it will be 1 millisecond. Change to delay. Let's connect it back. Right, we have two connections. Remove it and make sure it is just one connection. After delay, 1 millisecond, gentle, and let's keep it at 800 milliseconds. All right, also connect the last one. Let's keep everything to default. All right, and create a new frame, and let's test our component. Select the frame and hit the preview button. Right, let's see if I click. Boom. Yeah, I get my animation, but I want this circle to be smaller to the center, not to the top and left. So to do so, I'm gonna select my instance and use the constraint to center vertical and horizontal. And here, if I go back and click, all right, it works exactly as we wanted. Click again, back to the default. In this video, I'm going to show you how to design this button animation. So, if I hover over my button, as you can see, I have this background blur animation playing over and over in the background. Then if I press, I have this border laser light effect around my button, and then if I release, it will stay the same. Then if I mouse over, it will go back to its default. All right, so let's get started. So this tutorial has 3 components that we need to create. So I'm gonna start with the border animation. So this border animation loop, it is a single component, and also this gradient blur, it's another component, and then the last component, it is a combination of the button and the effects component, which is the border and the background. All right, now let me start by creating a new rectangle. It will be 200 by 44. I'm gonna add a stroke of 3. Let's give it 3 pixel stroke. Remove the fill and 25 radius. All right. Next, let's give it a basic linear color. Let's pick purple, and let's add another one in the middle, and the last one I'm gonna decrease it to 0. This will be a dark zoom in so you can see, and the first one will be a bright color, something like that. All right, let's transform it to component, create a new variant. In the second variant, I'm gonna just move my linear background, I'm gonna move the linear background to the left. Alright, and I'm gonna add a third variant. Also select the rectangle, stroke, and move around the gradient, something like that, and create a fourth one. Select the rectangle, stroke, move it to the left and center. Alright, now I'm gonna connect those four variants. Gonna use after delay 1 millisecond smart animate. So after delay be all the same configuration. After delay, make sure this is 1 millisecond. Also connect the last one with the first one to create an infinite loop. After delay 1 millisecond. So the animation will be on and on turning. So let's create a new frame and drop our component. Let's hit the preview. Let's see how it works. Alright, as you can see, it's a little bit fast. Let me slow it down. Here I'm gonna double it 600 milliseconds. Let's see again. Alright, I think it will do the job. You can play with the animation settings and the gradient to get the effect you desire. Now let's remove this frame. Let's rename this border light. And next I want to create the second effect, which is this blur animation. So I'm gonna pick, this will be simple, pick one circle and let's give it the linear gradient. Alright, and let's duplicate it, select the two, add new blur effect, layer blur, and let's increase the blur to, let's say it's 50, 60. Alright, let's make them close to each other, create component and add a new variant. Let me 3 variants. Because my blur is spreading, I need some space. Make sure I have enough space between each variant. So, alright. Now I'm gonna change the position or switch the position of each circle like that. And maybe line them something like that. And also here, you can play with the positioning and get the effect you want. I think that will do. Let's go to prototype and apply the same setting as we did here. So the first one with the second one, after delay, smart animate 600 and 1 millisecond delay, 1 millisecond. And alright, again the last one with the first one to create an infinite loop, 1 millisecond, 600. Alright, this is the background blur, and let's create a new frame to test our background. Alright, let's drop this, and in theory we see it moving around. Alright, as you can see, yeah, it's a little bit fast. Let's double this to 1200. Let's go back. Yeah, great. Let's see here as an example. Yes, let me actually increase distance, so we'll have the blur moving around my button. Yes, once I will incorporate it in my button, you will see the effect. Alright, now let's go and create our select frame, and let's go to the design tab, 244, 25 pixel radius, and for the fill I will pick a blur grayish color, rename it button. Let's go and pick the text tool and add my text, center 16 pixels medium, and also I'm gonna grab an icon from iconify, let's change the icon size. I keep it at 24 by 24. Change its color to white. Right now, let's transform this to auto layout and center. Increase the size to 200 pixels by 44. Alright, and I'm gonna maybe change the white color to a light gray, something like that. And then let's create a new component and then add a variant. And from here, I'm gonna add a glow drop shadow. Gonna pick bright color, gonna decrease its opacity to 50 and make it spread 20, make the blur 20 and 0 y and 0x, and I think this will do. Next, let's go and add my background blur, and also let's my background blur, let's hit this absolute position and move the layer to the top so it will be in the background. Hit the K key and resize it. Or maybe it's a little bit bright. Let's give it for layer opacity 50%, and also change the color of the text and the icon to a bright white. Alright, let's move and create a new variant. And for this variant, I'm gonna add my border light, also absolute position, and position it on the top of my component. Alright, and also I'm gonna add a last variant. I can change the maybe I will change, go back here to my borders and select all the variants rectangles and decrease the border to 1 pixel and see how it will. Alright, and one more thing. Alright, let's connect everything and see how animation will work. So connect the first one, on click or while hovering, Smart Animate is out and 300. The second one, while pressing, Smart Animate, also 300. And here I will pick, I'll pick on click and keep this the default. Then with the last one, I'll pick mouse leave. Now let's create a new frame and let's drag our component. And also let's change the frame background color to a dark, to a black color, and let's go and hit present and let's see. Zoom in. Alright, if I hover, I have the blur light effect. If I press, I have my effect, and click, we still keep the effect. If I move my mouse, we go back to default. Now I'm gonna add, maybe change this a gray. Let's change this something like that. Alright, maybe not, maybe more. And I'm gonna add a border stroke, dark gray. Yes, that's better to create a contrast. It will detach it from the background, and the glow effect of my drop shadow will look great. Yes, and also I wanna increase the size. Maybe we'll move this to create more space, and this I will hit the K key and increase the size by 1 dot slightly to create just an effect of, bouncing. Maybe it's a little bit slow. Here, let's go and align this. Alright, so you can see it's way better. Alright, that was everything for today's tutorial. I hope you've learned something new, and hopefully I can see you in the next tutorial. I hope this video was helpful, and I created this tutorial using Master UI components. So please visit masterui.co to discover thousands of components to fuel your creative genius. Thanks, and if you have any suggestion for the next tutorial, please feel free to share them by leaving a comment. See you in the next one.